Nice. All right. Welcome to another episode of Transatlantic Brews TV, or TA Brews TV, as we're abbreviated. We're here sharing another beer online here live on Blab, and we'll be later on YouTube. I'm Mark from TA Brews, and I'm live here with Ponto from TA Brews. How you doing, Ponto?
Good. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good, and I'm all ready for a beer. In fact, I'm already ready. I've poured, and it's all good. The reason being, for anybody who's watching, is we just did this video and my sound screwed the whole thing up. So we're back again to try and clean up our act.
Well, mine was fine.
Yeah, well, you know, at least I came back with a proper opener this time.
Yes, we're on the same page there, finally.
Nice. However, anyway, let's give this another shot. We'll go through these beers one more time, and you know, we're just too professional for our own good. You know, we're just clearly pro.
Clearly, second take and all that.
Second take. All right. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, great.
What are you drinking?
So, the beer that I had just done is from Postmark Brewing, and it's their Saisonella.
Okay.
And the Postmark Brewery actually is in Vancouver here, and it's a very lifestyle-based brewery, it seems. They've got a lot to do. If you check their website, it's very design-oriented. There's lots of music, photos, videos, tons of different things they're involved in with different artists and all that kind of thing. You know, a SoundCloud account with tons of music and all that, and they group together all these playlists and stuff you can get off of SoundCloud. It's actually pretty extensive considering they're a brewery and not necessarily an entertainment company of any sort.
Sounds interesting.
There was, and you can buy they have clothing, all sorts of things. They have a couple different places you can actually go and have a bite to eat with their beer as well. They own. And one of the more interesting things I found out about their beer was they created an ice cream that's specifically designed to go with one of their beers, the butternut beer.
Oh yeah.
And it's available at their Kitsilano restaurant there. So
cool.
Pretty interesting brewery. I've never seen one quite like it before.
Yeah, it's a good USP. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's awesome. So what are you drinking, Mark? What do you got there?
I have a Berliner Weisse, which is essentially a beer from a collaboration, which is called Ich bin Berliner Ryesse. Ryesse. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or doing that justice, but I'm trying my best. But it's a collaboration between two brewers. One's a Belgian-based brewer called Alvinne, and then the other one is a Spanish brewer called Basque Lega. And it's an interesting beer in that it's not a traditional Berliner Weisse. It has some slight variations, a bit of a twist on a traditional style there. They brew it with 30% wheat and 30% rye and 20% wheat, and they also use mixed yeast culture. So they use this Morpheus yeast, which is several yeast strains in one kind of thing, and then they combine that with the house yeast of the Belgian brewers variety to make for something that's supposedly got some very nice sort of sour lactic qualities to it, which I've experienced already. But we'll get to it a little bit more when we get to the tasting notes. Do you want to go through the tasting notes of yours?
Yeah, great. So that's the beer. It's pretty clear. You can see. It's got a bit of carbonation in it, which is good because I do not like a ton of carbonation in my beers personally. Other than that,
it looks nice and clear, good clarity.
Yeah, it's good. So the smell on it, it's got a bit of a lemony and a bit of a bready kind of character.
Cool.
Bit of that grapefruit you're used to with a hoppy beer.
Yeah, because you said it was a saison, and it almost sounds more like a kind of pale ale.
It does in a way, in the aroma anyway. It does.
Yeah.
The flavor though. Test again just to make sure my taste buds weren't off. It's got quite this harsh citrus bite to it. Like I was saying last time, and it's actually, it gets right into the center of my tongue and just kind of sits there. And it's quite bitter, and it doesn't quite dissipate for a while. It's got this lingering sort of bitterness to it. And the most I can taste is that lemon. Now it's a bit odd, because usually a saison is a little more spicy and floral and that kind of thing, whereas this one's just that citrus is what it does. I mean, it does have a slight bit of floralness to it, but it's kind of overshadowed by that citrus flavor.
It's got to be in the hop varieties they're using.
Yeah, and actually what they're using is an Australian hop called Ella. That's why they called it the Saisonella. And it's used for bittering. And I'm wondering if maybe it was a bit too much for the bittering.
Right.
That one. Not being familiar with the Australian hop there, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I'm wondering if a different hop variety might have been a better choice for it.
Yeah, slightly unbalanced maybe from the sounds of it. So, would you seek it out?
Would I seek it out? No, I wouldn't go for it again. I mean, it's not terrible by any stretch, but it's definitely not as good as a lot of other beers I've had.
Okay, all right.
So
it's drinkable.
It's drinkable.
You wouldn't kick it out of bed.
If I had beer in bed, there's a serious problem.
Yeah, it's best left alone, really, isn't it?
Anyway, on to your beer. What do you got?
Yeah. So I've got this Berliner Weisse, which is a twist on a Berliner Weisse, as I've just mentioned. And with the yeast strains that they're using, I'm expecting something very sour. So let's go for the aroma. But first of all, if you just look at the colour here, it's a kind of straw-like pale colour. Really quite lovely, but it does look a little bit like a sample I passed. But it's attractive, and it kind of almost looks a little bit like a Barocca when you pour that kind of one of those morning drinks where you put it in the water and it kind of fizzes up and it's supposed to make you feel great. One of them things. But generally an attractive beer. Let's go for the aroma. Yeah, definitely got that sort of sour candy, that lactic slice element. It's got a tinge of vinegar, but it's not unpleasant at all in any kind of way. Some lovely fresh lemon scents in there as well. Lovely citrus flavour. Let's go for the taste. A lot of that kind of carries through as well. It's got that lovely lactic kind of quality. Lovely fresh lemons, some rye and wheat in there, and also some slight berry elements, but it's quite mild and faint. Overall, it just has this kind of lovely sour candy presence. It's really, really quite pleasant, actually, quite balanced as well. Nothing's overpowering. It kind of has that lovely balance. All the different flavours keep each other in check, which a good beer should. Really good. I'd seek it out again. It's great.
And where did you say that one was from again? Was it a Spanish one, you said?
Yeah, it's a collaboration between two brewers. The main brewer is a Belgian brewer, and the other brewer is Spanish, but I believe they brew it over at the Belgian brewery, I believe. Let me see if the bottle reveals that. No, it doesn't really say. I think it is in Belgium. It's 4.5%, by the way, which is actually quite moderate for a Belgian-style beer. Well, a Belgian beer meets a German beer. It's really a hybrid style, this. So interesting, very interesting indeed.
What's your overall impression? Would you drink it again?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a smashing beer. It's really interesting. There's a lot going on, and that lovely sour candy kind of quality without being, too in your face, if you like, and abrupt is really good. It's really pleasant.
Would you actually seek it out in the store?
Yeah.
Totally. Go for that one beer. You go for it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would. In all honesty, if the mood took me and I went in there, I was like, yeah, I want a sour beer. I think I'd take this off the shelf. Yeah, excellent. Definitely.
Excellent. Good news if you're in the UK. It was from Beer 52.
Yes,
so
it was.
It's clearly available somewhere in the UK for anybody who lives there. You may not be so lucky.
If you're subscribed to Beer 52 and you got their box this month, their September box, then you can drink this beer.
Otherwise,
maybe. All right. Okay. Well, some interesting beers this week, and we'll be back next week with some more beer shares over the Atlantic. Myself in the UK, Ryan over in Canada. If you want to find out more about us, then head over to transatlanticbrews.com, or a beer website that looks at craft beers on both sides of the Atlantic. And we have a little surprise or a little treat for any of our new visitors. You can go and download your Beer Geek Toolkit, which is essentially 5 essential steps to help you enjoy a better beer. So head over there, get your Beer Geek Toolkit, and we'll see you in another episode of TA Brews TV really soon. Cheers.